All right, let's talk about something most of us deal with every single day, but never really master: texting. Have you ever been in a conversation that felt so dry, you started rereading the text just to make sure it wasn't you killing the vibe? Like you're sending messages and getting back things like K or White, and you start wondering if you're talking to a person or a potato. Let's be real. Nobody wants to be part of a dead, awkward chat that feels like pulling teeth. Whether you're trying to flirt, build a friendship, or just have a good back and forth, dry texting ruins the vibe. So today, I'm going to share 3 secrets to avoid dry text conversations. Not just random tips, but actual game-changing advice that works in real life. The kind of stuff that makes people want to reply to you and even double text when you go silent. Let's get into it. Secret 1, be present. Stop multitasking. Let's be honest. The real reason most of us come off as dry when we text is because we're barely even there. Like, mentally, you're texting someone while watching a YouTube video, replying to DMs on Instagram, half listening to your little cousin's noise in the background, and shoveling spoonfuls of jollof rice into your mouth. You're multitasking so hard. It's a miracle your brain hasn't crashed like a frozen laptop. Then you look at your chat later and wonder why your replies sound like you copied them straight from a robot. It's not that you don't care about the person. You probably do. But your attention is split into 5 different directions, and that kills any real connection before it even starts. If you're texting someone you genuinely like or want to connect with, do this one simple thing. Be present. No, I don't mean be on your phone all day like you're in a texting relationship with no job or purpose. I mean when you choose to reply. Actually be there. Give them your attention for just a moment. Read their message properly. Think about it. Then reply like a real human who actually cares. You don't have to write a whole novel every time. It's not about sending long essays. It's about being intentional. When someone asks, "Hey, how's your day?" don't just hit them with a dry one-word "good." That's how conversations die. Instead, say something like, "Not bad. You won't believe what happened. A random cat followed me all the way to the bus stop, like we were long-lost friends." Boom. Now the convo has a pulse. You've added something funny, something personal, and something real. And here's the best part. Being present actually makes texting easier. When you're focused, you don't have to overthink your reply. You're in the moment. It flows naturally. So, stop texting like a background task. Be there. It makes all the difference. Secret 2, match their energy, but don't copy-paste. Let's talk about energy. Not crystals and moon signs. Texting energy. One of the biggest reasons conversations feel dry is because the energy is completely mismatched. It's like trying to dance with someone who's vibing to Afro beats while you're standing still like a statue. Have you ever text someone and they come in loud, full of excitement, dropping emojis like confetti, telling stories, making inside jokes, and you hit them back with lazy okay or cool? That's a conversation killer right there. The vibe goes from 100 to 0 real quick. Or maybe it's the other way around. You send a whole message with effort, jokes, and personality, and they reply with YHLOL. No energy, no follow-up, nothing. You feel like you just performed a full comedy set for free. Like, did I ask to be the unpaid Netflix special? So here's what you do instead. Match their vibe. Not in a fake, exaggerated way. Nobody wants to talk to a human mirror. Just be on their level. If they're joking around, joke back. If they're using memes or slang, and you actually get it, lean into that. If they're sending voice notes with dramatic storytelling, maybe send one back. People naturally enjoy talking to those who reflect their energy. It makes them feel understood. It's like saying, "Hey, I get you, but there's a fine line, and here's where people mess up." Don't overdo it. If they use a couple of emojis, don't reply with a whole zoo of them. If they say bruh once, don't start throwing bruh into every sentence like it's punctuation. Keep it natural. And definitely don't try to force slang you don't understand. That's how you end up texting SKRRT to your Annie thinking it means, okay, now you're the family meme. So remember, match the energy, not the exact words. Bring that same vibe, but keep it real. That's how you keep the conversation flowing and fun, without looking like a clone. Secret 3, make it easy for them to reply. Here's one big reason why conversations dry up. You're not giving the other person anything to work with. You send something like, haha, that's funny, and then you sit there wondering why they didn't reply. Like, what are they supposed to say? Thanks. LOL? It's not that you're boring. It's just that you didn't leave a path for the chat to continue. Think of it like playing catch. If you throw the ball and just walk away, the game's over. But if you throw it and wait, you give them a chance to throw it back. Same thing with texting. So what's the fix? Add a follow-up. It doesn't have to be deep or dramatic. Just give the other person something to respond to. Ask a simple question. Share your opinion. Make a comment that opens a door instead of closing it. For example, instead of saying, I watched a movie last night, say, I watched this movie last night called Bullet Train. Have you seen it? It was so random. I didn't expect to laugh that much. Boom. Now they can reply with, yeah, I've seen it, or no, what's about, or even share their own movie recommendation. You created space for a real exchange. Another trick? Use open-ended questions. Questions that don't just get a yes or no. Like, instead of, did you have fun? Try, what was the best part of your night? Instead of, how was your day? Try, what's one thing that made you smile today? Even something like, what's the most random thing that happened to you today? Can lead to a fun, unexpected chat. And don't stress about sounding smart or perfect. Keep it relaxed. Keep it real. Most people enjoy talking about themselves. They just need a little nudge. So if you want better combos, make it easy for them to jump in. Open the door, don't close it. Here's a tip most people sleep on when it comes to texting. Share little stories. I know it sounds simple, but hear me out. This one's wildly underrated. Most people treat texting like a checklist. Hey, how are you? Good, you? Also good. And then what? You both sit there staring at your screens like you're in a really boring interview. It's polite, yeah, but it's also lifeless. There's no spark, no vibe, nothing to actually connect with. Now picture this instead. You text someone, bro, I was walking home today, minding my business with a pack of plantain chips, when this little demon of a dog jumped out from behind a gate and barked like it owed me money. I literally jumped and flung my chips like I was in an action movie. And the dog, it just stared at me like it was proud of ruining my day. That's it. That's the magic. It's a story. It's a moment. It shows your personality. Now the person you're texting has a dozen ways to respond. They could laugh, call you dramatic, tell you a similar story, or ask if the chip survived. Suddenly, it's not just texting, it's a conversation. Sharing stories makes you feel more real. And being real is what actually keeps people interested. So next time you're stuck in a dry convo, skip the basic questions. Tell a tiny story instead. You might be surprised at how much better the chat gets. That's how you spark real connection. The thing is, people love stories. Always have. We've been telling them around fires, in villages, through songs, in books, for thousands of years. It's how we connect. It's how we feel seen. And the good news? You don't need some life-changing event to have a story worth sharing. In fact, it's the small, random moments that work best. The weird little things that happen during your day, that's the real gold. You dropped your toothbrush in the toilet this morning? Share it. You saw a guy arguing with a pigeon at the bus stop? Tell someone. Your mom caught you dancing like an idiot while sweeping the floor? That's premium content. These tiny moments might seem silly, but they make you feel real. They add flavor and warmth to your conversations. They let the other person into your world, even if just for a second. That's powerful. And the best part? You don't have to try hard. You don't need to write paragraphs or craft a perfect message. Just say it like you would if you were lying on your bed, phone in hand, texting a friend out of boredom. Keep it relaxed. Keep it real. Next time you're tempted to text, what's up? Don't. Tell a little story instead. You'll be amazed at how quickly it turns into an actual conversation. Signs you're being a dry texter, so you can catch yourself. Let's take a quick pause and get real for a second. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you're the one making the conversation dry. So, here are some easy-to-spot red flags to help you catch yourself before the chat dies. First up, you mostly send one-word replies. If your go-to answers are okay, LOL, yeah, or cool, every single time, that's a sign. It makes the other person feel like you're not really interested. Even if you are. Imagine talking to someone who just shrugs every time you say something. That's how one-word replies feel. Next, you take forever to reply. And when you do, there's nothing interesting in your message. Maybe you read the message hours ago, then finally respond with something vague like, fine or busy. When your replies are slow and dull, it's a double whammy for conversation. Another big one is, you never ask questions. Conversations are a two-way street. If you're always answering but never turning the spotlight back, the chat will fizzle out fast. People want to feel seen and heard. So asking questions shows you care. Also, your replies lack emotion or personality. If every message feels like you're reading off a script or sending auto-generated notifications, like your appointment is confirmed or reminder, meeting at 3 p.m., it's tough to keep things lively. Lastly, if your messages feel robotic or just flat, it's a clear sign you might be texting dry. But here's the good news. It's totally normal to be dry sometimes. Everyone slips up, especially when you're busy or tired. The key is to just notice it and try to do better next time. Once you catch these signs, you can start making small changes, adding a little personality, asking a simple question, or sharing a quick story. That's how you turn dry texts into real, fun conversations that people actually want to keep going. What if they text dry? All right, now you might be thinking, but I'm trying. They're the dry ones. I get it. It's really annoying when you're putting in all the effort and the other person just sends back one-word replies or short, boring answers. So what do you do when they're dry texters? You basically have two choices. First, pull back. Stop chasing. If you're always the one starting the conversation or trying to keep it alive and they never match your effort, it's a sign they might not be that into texting or even into you. And that's okay. It's better to save your energy for people who actually want to chat with you. Second, try switching things up. If you've been super serious, try being funny or lighthearted. If you've been joking around a lot, try being more real or thoughtful. Sometimes changing your vibe can get a better response. People respond to different energies, so it's worth experimenting. At the end of the day, texting should feel natural and mutual. If it feels like work and the other person never matches your energy, don't force it. Real connections happen when both sides want to be there. Remember, texting isn't everything. If someone's dry all the time, maybe they're just not the right person for you. Focus on people who bring the same effort you do, and let the rest go. Final words. Dry conversations are kind of like dry toast. You know it's there, but it's hard to swallow and not very enjoyable. No one wants to be stuck in those boring back and forths that feel like a chore. But here's the thing. You don't have to be a stand-up comedian or some texting genius to avoid dry chats. It's really simpler than that. It's about being present when you're texting, matching the other person's energy without copying them exactly, and most importantly, giving them something to actually reply to. When you start doing that, conversations stop feeling like work and start feeling like fun. You make texting easy and low pressure for the other person, and suddenly, they want to keep talking. They'll look forward to hearing from you instead of avoiding their phone. No more ghosting. No more awkward silences that leave you wondering if you said something wrong. That's when you become the person people genuinely want to chat with. The one who makes their day better just by sending a message. And honestly, that's the real win. So, if you take anything away from this, let it be that texting doesn't have to be complicated. Be yourself, be thoughtful, and keep the convo flowing. All right, hope this helped you out. If you liked it, you know what to do. Drop a like, share with a friend, or just start texting like a pro. Now, go make your next text count. Peace.